Question. Do you help people simply for you yourself to receive blessings, or are you just simply kind? Is it just what you do? Are you a mama bear or a papa bear? Okay, so I was watching another Real Kia video, and I'm just gonna start sending her money. So let's watch the clip. Let's watch it together.
I don't know how people be all on social media complaining about how being a good person don't get them anywhere in life and it just gets them used and stuff like that, right? There was a response that I saw to somebody saying something like that has stuck with me ever since I seen it. Earlier this year, there was a girl on Facebook who made a status talking about how being a good person don't get you blessed. It just gets you used by people, this, that, and the third, all that stuff y'all be complaining about. There was a person that commented on there, and their comment has stuck with me ever since I read it. The comment said, not word for word, but basically what it said was, the reason why y'all don't get blessed is because y'all are helping people that God is trying to punish. I have been thinking about that ever since I read it, because if we're being completely honest, it makes so much sense, because it's like I just sat here and thought about all the people in the past that I have helped. It's like you sit here and you think about people trying to help them and their lives are just completely in shambles. No matter what you do or how much help you offer up, it don't help them. You just might be interfering with God's work. They either going through character development, or they getting some type of karma, or God is doing something to them and you interfered, and that's why you didn't get blessed. That's why I didn't get blessed. That's why we didn't get blessed. Worst part about it, not only do you not get blessed, you get punished next. Now I got to be cautious of who I help, because I don't want to sit here and try to be a good person and end up getting punished because I was actually interfering with God's work. No.
What? Okay, first and foremost, may we all have incredible discernment, right? My thing, however, is, what do you mean getting in God's way? How do you know if it's wrong to help them, though? What if that moment of reprieve helped them to make it through? What if you were meant to be an example, right? What if you were meant to bear witness? Like, my cats are catting. Because, like, if we're only helping people to be blessed, I mean, that's right up there with being a people pleaser, right? I was watching an Aaron Doty video, and he mentioned that people pleasing is a form of manipulation. And I was like, what? Well, okay, all right. And he's not wrong. I don't know where he got it from or if he came up with it himself. It doesn't matter. The point is, if you're doing things, if you're being kind and helping people and being there for them in their time of need, what consequences? What are you talking about, right? I mean, there are those who might push someone out of the way of a car or something and end up getting hit themselves. These cats. But, like, otherwise, what do you mean? What do you mean? Are you sure it's not a perspective thing? Because let's go back to the people-pleasing thing. It's manipulation, because, and most of us, we get so burnt out, right? We get burnt out because we're doing all these things and we're getting nothing in return. It's not reciprocal, when in reality, that's what it's showing us, what we need to heal. You shouldn't be burning out and sacrificing yourself to help others. That doesn't really help anyone, right? All too often, we end up doing this with people, and it's just trying to keep the mood light. That's all these kitties are doing. They're just trying to keep the mood light, right? So you're doing all these things for people and they never reciprocate. And it's like, it's honestly just a trajectory. I don't know if honestly is quite the right, but it's a trajectory from your childhood, your parents, and the crap that you had to deal with when you were a kid, and you haven't healed it, right? So you go out there and you're trying to take care of others. And I used to, like, help my friends with their dishes, help my friends with their laundry, do this and do that. And then I realized no one has ever done that for me. No one has ever come to my home and helped me tidy up, helped me clean when I was like, in the thick of depression and I couldn't, I'm so proud of myself for brushing my teeth today. Like it can be really difficult for some of us, right? But yet we're over there helping them, always showing up for them and just getting heartbroken. When in reality, we're not recognizing that these particular people who are taking us for granted, who are taking advantage of us and wrapping us up in their consequences, they're a lesson for us. You're there. Why are you telling yourself that you're in God's way rather than God put me here for a reason? So what is the lesson? What is it that I need to be aware of right now? What can I learn and grow through with this whole experience, right? Because it's all projections in theory. The way people treat us, because we're letting them into our lives in the first place. Why? Why are you friends with people you can't trust? Why are you putting yourself in that position and calling it kindness and thinking that you're trying to help them and yet it turns out, oh no, they took you down with them. What? To me, and I can only talk like this because I've been there 1,000 times. I've been one of those people who bent over so far backwards that we're upright again times 1,000. So please know that. Please know that context. This is work I've had to deal with. This is stuff I've had to heal myself. So I saw this because I'm just going through Rilke's, just all of them. I'm just watching all of them because I love her vibe. And I heard this Cheeky Mama say that and I was like, what do you mean though? How do you know that you're suffering that person's consequences? Because that's stuff that's driven me nuts. Like when it comes to romantic relationships, right? When you recognize, why am I dealing with your ex's consequences? Do you not see who you have right here? Whose hand are you holding? Who are you talking to? You know what I mean? Like, what is going on? Like, we shouldn't have to suffer somebody else's consequences. But why are you with someone who's treating you like that in the first place? Does it remind you of your mom, your dad, or whatever equivalent you wound up with, right? What's really going on here? Where's the grace? Not only with them, but especially with yourself. Why do you keep ending up here? Why do you keep feeling like you're suffering other people's consequences when you were just trying to help them? How, if you believe in God, how can you possibly tell yourself you got in his way? Aren't we all God? Isn't he within all of us? What if you were meant to be there to be an example to that person? To show there are kind people out there. There are people who will put their own shit on hold and help you, who will give you that attention, who will give you that comfort, right? I have cat hair all over my face right now. Oh my goodness, it tickles so much. Anyway, that's my thing, because like maybe that's why you end up feeling used and burnt out, because you're basically people pleasing. And if we're just kind, if we're just mama bears and papa bears, and we're just caregivers and nurturers, and it's just natural for us, we're not sacrificing ourselves because we have those healthy boundaries in place, right? We've been there before and we learned from it. We can recognize it from a mile away, if it even gets to us, because quite frankly, once you start making different choices, once you start, because it's not like I want people to just stop being nice and stop meeting new people and stuff like that, but it's like, you just catch on. You know what I mean? In your evolution, right? You can see like, oh, you remind, like for me, it's absolutely my mom. My mom's the like stereotypical narcissist, and then it's my dad who taught me abandonment issues, you know? Okay. So that's my question. Like, where is that grace? Not only for them, but mostly for yourself, because this is your life. And if it's all a mirror, if it's all projections, not to victim blame in any way or anything. Like some people are just, you know, and you just, but if you believe in God, then wouldn't he still be with you? Wouldn't he, like, you know, like, why are you assuming the worst? Why did that person, because that clip was inspired by somebody else's thing that they said. Why did that affect you like that? Because I'm willing to bet that you watching this may have been a bit affected by what she said, by what she read, right? Why though? It's a lot, like, kindness isn't the problem. Love isn't the problem. That particular person is the problem. Love didn't break your heart. Love didn't cause you pain and suffering. That person did. That person's consequences are their own. That's their lesson. Losing you was that ex's lesson. Because now they got a bar. And is anybody else even going to be able to meet it? Is anybody else even going to be able to rise above it? Come on. No. I mean, you know, billions of people, whatever. It's like that, there's that old version of me or whatever. There's that deep down, still healing parts of me that get it. I totally get it. And I don't want to make you feel like I'm like, because I don't mean it that way. I'm just like, but why? Why, how that person has their own thing going on. There's only so much that we can do for someone else, right? Especially if we're not even willing to do it for ourselves. I've always called bullshit on being unable to love if you don't love yourself. You absolutely can. I did it my whole life. But now, looking back, it's like, wow, okay, I get what they mean now, because it's just different. It's just different. There are things you don't put up with when you love yourself, when you care for yourself. And when we're people pleasing, whatever, it's like so many of us are taught to look outside of ourselves for that unconditional love, for that care, for that nurturing, when we're supposed to be doing it for ourselves. And then that just reminds me of that Chris Rock routine about the crackheads. And I take care of my kids. Well, you're supposed to. You want a cookie? Like, you're supposed to take care of yourself. You know, those people that are like, no one was helping me. No one was there for me. No one took care of me. So I'm just going to take care of myself. I'm just going to look out for number one. I mean, you kind of said it yourself by referring to yourself as number one. Let's follow through on that is all I'm saying. Let's follow through on it. Be number one. But all too often, people like us, we get guilt tripped for taking care of ourselves. We get guilt tripped for needing a moment of peace to get our head right. We get guilt tripped by those things from people who need to be doing it themselves. So why should their opinions on the matter have such an effect on us? Why are we giving them that kind of power when they don't presently deserve it? And as a matter of fact, nobody does. Because why? We're number one in our lives. That's not selfish. It's facts. It's all about perspective and being able to recognize that love you're seeking, that care and the blessings that you're seeking, it comes from you. It's for you. And once you're able to work through those things and heal and evolve, you just radiate and it just magnetizes to you because you don't need it anymore. You don't need to manipulate people, even if it's in a very kind and nurturing way, to love you. Because people like that, who are just leeches, who are just parasites, they can't even reach you anymore. They can't even affect you, because for some of us, that's our family. And for some of us, there's no escaping them. But they don't have to affect you like that anymore. You know, the more we heal, the more we can recognize those things in other people, and we can see where they're coming from. We can see, we have a bit better of an understanding as to where they are in their own journey, right? And we don't need to pity them. We can hope for the best. That's what they mean, like, let it go with love. Let it go with love. Sometimes you just have to hold certain people at arm's length, because they're trying to be parasites and they just don't get to. This is your life. If you want love, if you want grace, if you want blessings, the only person that's going to limit, that's going to keep it from you, is you and me, right? I'm right here with you. That's all. And it's just a question, like, what do you mean? How do you know if it's wrong to help someone, right? So may we all have incredible discernment. May we all be able to figure it out right from the get-go and be like, oh, okay, I see you. But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't help them. It doesn't mean just you being you can be helpful. There can be a lot of pressure being the example. It can be overwhelming. Just do your thing. Just do your thing. Be you. If you're kind and you're a mama bear or a papa bear, you know, or just a burr, be you. It's always been enough. And anyone telling you differently needs to shut the fuck up and go look in the mirror and deal with themselves. Okay? Okay. Deal. Thank you so much for hearing me out. I really appreciate it. We don't have to agree, but we can still respect one another, right? So that's all. That's just my piece. I've been wanting to say that ever since seeing that clip, because it's like, whoa, 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 what do you mean? Whoa, whoa. It doesn't need to be like that. My goodness. Come on. Like, how would you be there if you weren't meant to be there? This is kind of how it works. And when you heal, you don't put yourself into particular positions anymore. And it's real. And you've always been worthy. Always. You know how I know? You were born. Thank you so much for hearing me out. Thank you for being here. What do you think about this? Is there any kind of advice that you could give to someone who's trying to heal from these experiences, who's drained and burnt out? What's helped you, right? What are the things that you do when you're feeling burnout, when you're dealing with that? How were you able to heal your people-pleasing ways? What did you do? Because a lot of people tend to like reading the comments. I'm kind of over it these days when it comes to other people's channel. There are a lot of bullies out there, and I just don't have the patience for that anymore. It drives me nuts. So let's not bully ourselves, okay? And thank you especially for choosing to be present. I'll see you next time.